Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Alex and this is TechFlow. More specifically, welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to a more personal video. This is what's on my iDevices. Like I mentioned, guys, this is what is on my iDevices, and thanks so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. More recently, we've been doing serious videos like reviews of routers and tours of my smart home, but today I wanted to do one of my more requested videos of the year, which is show you guys the things that are on my technology that I use day in, day out. Now, I can already see it in the comments, Apple fanboy. I also do carry around an Android phone, and that is this Samsung Galaxy S20 here. And then if we set that off to the side over here, I have a full-on basket of other Android phones. We've got Google Pixels in here, we've got Honor phones in here. And if you would like a more deep dive video into what's on my other tech, like my Android phones and my Windows gaming PCs and streaming PCs upstairs, let me know with a comment down below. That's right below that like button. Okay, so this is my home screen, and yes, I have a picture that I took of my car as my background. If you would like any of my wallpapers, I'll put them in the descriptions. But jumping back to the main page here, I have everything I need, but it's a little bit more specific than that. Because I have these small little hands and this huge, massive, phablet sized phone, I have my most used items in thumb's reach at the bottom of the screen. So let's start there with the dock. Down here, I've got camera, Google Mail, because I use G Suite for all of my mail stuff. I have my text message application here, which is obviously iMessage, and a huge reason as to why I am in the Apple ecosystem, because a lot of my colleagues, the people I work with, and my family all have iMessage, FaceTime. You guys get the point. Now, my main music streamer of choice is Spotify. I'll have my Spotify account linked down below, but I've got a few cool playlists in here that I think you guys might like. Got some mixtapes on there. Honestly, if you guys want to go and check out my Spotify, I'll put that link down below. Okay, moving up, these are sort of my main three social medias that I use the most. So my Twitter client, or for Twitter, I use Tweetbot. Next up, down there, Snapchat. You guys can add me away if you'd like to, links below. Then we've got Instagram and the stock Photos app. Okay, so the row above that, we've got settings, because I'm in there quite often, as well as YouTube Studio. Obviously, you guys know the game. Next, I'm using the stock calendar application on iOS because it links in with my Google Calendar, which is what I'm actually using. So all of my appointments and scheduling is done on Google, but then it syncs over. And then Waze is my favorite navigator of choice, just because I like how I can have me as a race car as the sat nav. For me, that just does it.
A child.
Above that, we've got Discord. Hey, you guys, if you're not in the Discord server, I'm recording a video now. Whee! If you guys want to join the Discord, the link for that is below. Next to that, we've got phone, and we've got WhatsApp and YouTube. Now, Dropbox is actually where I do the majority of my work. This is where I keep the majority of my files, and that's just because it's where I have done for the majority of my life. There's loads of different file sharing applications out there like Google Drive, and ones that are probably cheaper and work better than Dropbox, but I know how Dropbox works. I have everything organized in here, and it syncs across all of my devices, whether they're phones, tablets, PCs, or Macs, and I just really like Dropbox. Unify Network is where I can log on and manage my house's network and quite a few of my clients' networks actually. And then Unify Protect, this is actually my house's security system. So yeah, if you look here, this is me recording this video right now. Look how messy my kitchen is. That's crazy. I do have a video on Unify Protect coming hopefully soon, but as you can see, I've got so many cameras and different views around my place. Hey look, there's Toby in the gym. That's crazy. Okay, so moving things along on the row up, we've got the speed test application just for testing the connection speed of the internet. Next to that, we've got Dark Sky. This is my favorite weather app of choice by far, simply because you can click on the map and then see if it's actually gonna rain, which there's literally nothing at the moment. Another reason to add as well as to why I really like the Dark Sky weather app is because it gives you really quick push notifications as to whether the weather is going to change or not. Like literally within 2 minutes, it will send you a notification saying it's about to rain wherever you are, and it will start raining, and vice versa with the sun or whatever the weather may be. Honestly, I feel like I've got the one up on everybody else just because I've got dark sky and I know what the weather's going to be doing in 20 minutes time. I really like this app. SoundCloud and Tidal. I've got SoundCloud because I really like music, and I can also find music for the videos that I create online on SoundCloud quite a lot of the time. And then next to that, I've got Tidal. I enjoy CD quality music to listen on my Kef LS50s that are sat behind me, so that's why I pay all of that money a month to Tidal, just simply for that. But like I said, I prefer Spotify. Moving things up, we've got Authy. I really like Authy. It's an authentication manager, essentially, so you can add all of your accounts to this, and it just gives you your two-step codes. But I just really like the way that this app lays it all out, and it's super simple. And it's like a cloud-based solution, so you can log into the Authy app on anything, and all of your two auth keys are just there, ready to go. Really recommend Authy. Next to that, password manager. As you guys know, LastPass, they've sponsored us a few times on the channel before. And then the last two apps, the Notes app is my favorite note-taking app, and the Reminders app is where I put all of the things to remind me to do things. Okay, so that's essentially my main page of stuff. Let's go over to page 2. This is where it's gonna help me do things around my house, essentially. Okay, so both the Harmony and Smart Life apps are IR transmitters for my house. So if I show you guys Harmony, this is gonna do a few things for the setup that's right behind me. So if I wanna play on the Xbox or watch the Chromecast or launch Netflix, I can click this, it'll start the activity, and by activity, it will turn the TV on and set the Kef speakers to the right inputs. Now, pretty much the same thing with the Smart Life app, except it's loads more basic and just gives you a simple controller for whatever device you want to use. I featured this little device in a TechFlow Top 5 about 2 weeks ago because it's really cool. AV controller is really simple. It lets me control the volume of the speakers that are in the ceiling in my bedroom, and Casa is an app by TP-Link that allows me to turn on and off plug sockets. So as you can see, I've got one that says desk. If I turn that on, it will actually turn on the desk upstairs, which will turn on my computer. Now, the Home Center app, we recently did a video about Home Center, and it's basically my entire smart home in one application. So I'm not even gonna open that. You can click the card to watch that video, and I'll put it in the description. Control Center is an app by Elgato that allows me to control the lights for when I'm streaming, and then the Tile app is the little tiles that you put on your keys, and if you lose your keys, you can make your keys play a sound. As you can see, I've got a Tile power bank, I've got a Tile on my car keys, and I've also got a Tile in my wallet. The rest of these apps here are essentially just home control apps. They let me control some of the lights around my house. So some of the LifeX lights that I've got in the kitchen, for example, or the Hue lights that I've got up in my office, or the Nanoleaf lights in the hallway. Moving a bit further down, the Dyson Link app allows me to turn on and off my new portable Hoover in the kitchen. Now below that, there's a few more apps that are just helping me get things done. I've got Find My, so I can see where my iDevices are and all of my friends. I've got the Activity app, so I can see and make sure that I'm closing all of my rings, which I do primarily wear an Apple Watch every day. The BMW Connected application allows me to check and monitor my car, so I can see that it's currently on my drive unlocked at the moment, so if I wanted to, I could go ahead and lock the car right from my phone. It's not like a Tesla where you can do crazy summon features and different things like that, but it's cool just to check the range and be able to lock and unlock and flash the headlights and sound the horn if you'd like to. UNMS is an application that allows me to monitor all of my internet radios that I have deployed that are currently sending internet to all of my clients. GoodNotes is my favorite notes app, more on that when we talk about the iPad. And then these three apps down here, Handles, Bank and PayPal and NatWest, are all banking and just transaction applications. And now this is no longer in any sort of particular order, these are just all apps on this next page that I use just quite often. So at the top in the middle here, we've got Vodafone and EE. I use those for managing my contracts, but then Splashtop up here is a really interesting application. This is how I'm actually remote desktoping to all of my computers. So as you can see, I've got a few computers in here. If I click on Alex PC, it's going to go ahead and load up the remote desktop for my computer so I can go ahead and use it anywhere I am in the world. And I've got this installed on all of my computers. Again, that's Splashtop. I've used it for years. I really like it. Nlight is my favorite photo editing application. I just really like how versatile this app is, and the wallpaper that I've put in the description of you guys, the picture was actually edited and taken by me. It was edited in Nlight. So yeah, there's the picture, as you can see. It was literally edited in Nlight. Now we've got some camera apps, GoPro for syncing GoPro files, the Ronin app for my gimbal, and then Imagine Edge Mobile, I think that's called. That is so I can connect to my Sony cameras and pull the images and videos right off them to my phone. And now down here, these are just apps that I use on and off, but not so frequently. So things like Amazon, Facebook, Pinterest, MyFitnessPal, Google Chrome, the Peloton app, and I've got Auto Trader there because I'm just always interested in the prices of cars. And then if we scroll over to the last page, this is my infamous, I think everybody has this, last page of folders where these are just apps that I probably need and use once or twice, maybe every 2 or 3 months, but I just don't want to delete them, but I need to keep them. Things like the Nando's application, for example. That doesn't need to be anywhere significant on my home screen, but I still need it. So it just lives back here with all of these other things in their various many folders. But that's it for my iPhone. Okay, so that moves us swiftly now onto the iPad. And I use my iPad that much, I'm actually currently working on a review of this thing. So if you want to know any questions about the iPad, let me know down in the comments. But like I was saying, I use this thing that frequently that I actually broke the nib of my Apple Pencil this morning, and that's really frustrated me because it's made me realize how much I use my iPad. So what's on it? But as you can see, this is the home screen of the iPad. We'll go through the widgets on the left first. So as you can see, I've got my calendar. Like I say, I use the calendar because it tells me everything I need to do. Like we've got a video going live tomorrow at 7 o'clock, which now I know because it's right there on that widget. Below that, these are just quick access for the scenes for LifeX. So in this kitchen, for example, I've got different LifeX scenes. So if I click kitchen daytime, I'm not gonna do it, but if I click it, it will change all of the lights in here. Below that, this is the Casa widget, so there's the desk again, I can turn that on and off, or the back garden illumination is just a huge spotlight that I've got out in the back garden. Now what are we actually using for apps on the iPad? And to be perfectly honest with you guys, a lot of them are just completely mirrored off my iPhone, but much nicer with a bigger screen that is also running at 100 and, I was gonna say 144, but I think it's 120 Hertz. Look how smooth that display is, I love it. So my iPad is used as a notes device and a streaming device. So on the main page, as far as apps is concerned, it's mainly streaming stuff like ITV Hub, Prime Video, SoundCloud and Tidal. Obviously I've got my Spotify down there on the dock. But the main reason I'm using my iPad so much is because of the app GoodNotes, and you can see it down here in the middle of the screen. Now this is the application where I do all of my note taking, and I note take absolutely everywhere because I am so forgetful. But essentially it's a note-taking app that works really well with the Apple Pencil, and I like it because I can send my notes to my team around me really easily via PDFs, and I can just ship them off, and it's just an easy way for me to get my ideas from my head onto paper and then sent to somebody, and then that way things can start happening. That's why I like this. It makes things happen. But a lot of the apps that I mainly use are the Apple stock apps because they just synchronize across all of my devices really quickly, simply and easily. So as you can see in my dock at the bottom, I've got things like the Reminders application. Ultralight. Now, okay, I really like Ultralight. This is my favorite photo editing application for iPad. It comes with loads of cool presets down the bottom, so you can go ahead and just apply one straight away, or you can go in and just manually change settings. I really, really like this app. And I know a lot of tech YouTubers have been trying to bring you content about how they are completely replacing their laptops with the iPad. I'm not quite there yet. I need a full-on editing suite. If this had Premiere Pro on it, then that would be a different story. But for now, Adobe Clip seems to do the job for video editing. But other than that, that's it. I like to keep things really, really simple. My iPad is my creative tool for essentially writing down notes when this Apple Pencil is working. So last but not least on the list, we've got my MacBook. Now this is the 16-inch MacBook Pro, maxed out i9. We've got 1 TB of SSD in here. We've got 32 gigs of RAM just because this is my mobile editing machine, if you like. So let's go through what's on here and how I use it, starting with the toolbar. Now I've got a few cool things up here. The first thing, as you can see, this MBPS. Now this is a tool called Bandwidth Plus, and it essentially allows you to monitor the ingoing and outgoing bandwidth that your MacBook is actually using, whether you're connected over Wi-Fi or Ethernet or whatever you're doing to get online. It's just going to show you at a glance the data leaving your device. So if I'm going to go on my MacBook here and run a quick speed test, you can see here that this number is going to jump up to exactly what the speed test is, because that's what we're using. Next on, another little nifty tweak is actually called memory diag. Now this is just gonna tell you how much free RAM you've got in the top display of your MacBook. This is useful for when you're editing. Sometimes your Mac can start to slow down a little bit and you can see, oh my God, I've only got like 200 meg of RAM left. You can actually click here and then click recycle memory, and it'll do its job to try and pull some of that RAM back and speed your computer up a little bit without having to reboot it, for example. Really nice little app. And then obviously next to that, we've got my Dropbox and we've got Creative Cloud for all of the Adobe sharing that I'm doing with all of my colleagues. Oh, the wallpaper, I almost forgot. This is actually a photo that I took in New Zealand, and it actually made it to a work card anywhere wallpaper, which is insane. But if you guys want this raw image that I took, I'll link that down there below that like button. Okay, now my dock is pretty simple. I have my dock to the left of the screen just because it gives you then more room to scroll. My web browser of choice, as you can see, is Google Chrome, just because it syncs across all my devices. I like sync, it makes my life easier. The majority of the time from the Adobe suite, I'm using Photoshop or Premiere. I don't really touch anything else from Adobe. These are the only two things that I use. Sometimes Media Encoder, but very rarely. Below that, again, a couple of music streamers that you've seen on my other devices, Spotify, Tidal, and then my editor of choice on the MacBook is definitely Final Cut Pro, just because of how well optimized it is. Below that, my three apps that tie my life together, Notes, Reminders, and Calendar. Like I've already mentioned, they sync across all of my devices, so on my phone, my iPad here, and then obviously on here too. Below that, Messages, again, syncs across my other devices. We've got Logic X Pro here because I'm trying to learn how to make music with all of this Corona stuff being on and being a little bit homebound. And then below that, we've got WhatsApp. WhatsApp is WhatsApp, and Discord, well, the Discord is the Discord server, and that is that. But there you guys have it. That is essentially what is on all of my iDevices and how my ecosystem all works together. Now, like I said at the start, if you guys want to see a video about my streaming setup, what's on there or what's on my Android devices, then please let me know down in the comments. But for now, we need to thank our sponsor, Squarespace. To be honest, I think you'd be lying if you said you hadn't heard of Squarespace, just because I've talked about them so much on the channel. They've been a sponsor for so long now. Thanks, Squarespace. Basically, they're the online website where you can go yourself and create your own website for whatever it may be. This could be your wedding, or you could even sell things on there and earn money. That's right, so as well as all the tools to build the website, like all of the templates, the thousands of templates that you can choose from, and then you upload all your own images and all of your own text, make it yours, make it count. They have, like I said, e-commerce on there, so you can actually sell things on your website, turn your website into a revenue stream where you can earn money. They've got built-in SEO, so you can see how your website is going to appear on certain search engines. You can take a look on screen right now. Here are a few of my websites, and all of them are built, like I say, on Squarespace. So if you guys do want to get 10% off your first Squarespace purchase or domain, use code TechFlow at checkout or go to squarespace.com/TechFlow. Squarespace, we love you, and guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.